These last few weeks have been both a rough time and hopefully hopeful time as well for us DC fans, because the whole future of the DCEU, DC Cinematic Universe, whatever you want to call it, has just been in question. Like, what is going to happen in the future, with the cancellation of Batgirl, David Zaslav and Warner Brothers Discovery taking over, this whole 10-year plan. There's been a lot of stuff going around. It's like, okay, what is actually happening here? Are they going to do a full reboot? Are they, just scrapping everything they're doing so far? Or are they going to continue with what they're doing? It's really been all over the place, and then gets even more kind of concerning when it gets to the point where Walter Hamada, who of course is the current head and president of DC Films, has even already said that he's going to quit because of what happened to Batgirl. He's like, yeah, no, I'm out. So after the release of Black Adam, Walter Hamada is done. So because of that, David Zaslav, because of his whole 10-year plan, he's actually mentioned that he wants to have a special designated team for DC. And basically, he wants Kevin Feige, but for DC. And so we've been hearing about this for the last couple of weeks about who could possibly be the new Kevin Feige. And this is actually a conversation that's been going on for years now. Even as Walter Hamada was in charge, nobody's really ever been a big fan of him. I haven't really had anything against him, but, everybody else did apparently. So it's been the hunt for the new Kevin Feige, or at least the next Kevin Feige, and this time for DC. So it's been a big question up in the air of like who could actually take on this role, who is, it's a really complex job, because not only do you have to be a good producer, but on top of that, you have to understand the source material, because that's one of the things that makes Kevin Feige so good, is that he himself is a fan of Marvel. And now, recently, a couple days ago, this report came out from Variety, of course, one of the head trades in Hollywood, revealed that Greg Berlanti is supposedly one of the names that has been thrown around in this conversation for becoming the new Kevin Feige of DC. And I've seen a lot of mixed reactions to this online so far. I've seen a lot of hate for this idea. A lot of people saying like, oh, this is the worst idea ever and all this stuff. Because of course, Greg Berlanti is most known for being basically the godfather of the Arrowverse. He's behind Arrow and The Flash and Supergirl. And obviously everybody there's a majority of people that are just completely against CW shows and like, oh, those shows are trash and all this stuff. And so they just automatically think this is a bad idea. Now, me personally, I think it's a great idea, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. Because yes, he is mainly known for the Arrowverse, which, to be fair, it isn't great right now, and kind of hasn't been great for years. But when it started, The Flash, the first couple seasons of The Flash were amazing. First couple seasons of Arrow were great. First couple seasons of Supergirl, maybe a little bit of Legends of Tomorrow. I'm not going to bring up Batwoman, but most of Black Lightning was pretty good as well. And then on top of that, the Arrowverse isn't all that Greg Berlanti does. He also works on Doom Patrol and Titans, which, Doom Patrol is the more, biggest thing to brag about there compared to Titans. But also Stargirl, of course, as well. He is actually working on the upcoming Green Lantern TV series for HBO Max. A lot of the other upcoming HBO Max series, Constantine and some of the Justice League Dark stuff as well. So he's a really, really well-known producer when it comes to DC, and clearly he knows the source material when it comes to DC. And so it makes sense, first of all, that his name is just being thrown around because he created, honestly, one of the closest things we've seen to the MCU with the Arrowverse. It is a shared continuity of superhero projects which have, or at least had, annual crossover events. And that's what we know David Zaslav is looking for in his new DC Kevin Feige, is somebody that can bring big, good quality DC films to the big screen, but have them be big, theater-worthy event movies. And, one of the biggest complaints with these CW shows is like, oh, the budget and the writing and all this stuff. But, that's CW's problem. Imagine if you get Greg Berlanti on a big budget like this, give him free reign. He's done some great work in the past. I would not all be surprised if he gave us, honestly, some great content and some great stuff if he was given the opportunity with the budget, with the right material to make it happen. I mean, he's done a great job with the shows, again, specifically in the early seasons. He also did amazing with the casting as well. That will be another thing he's involved in. So I really do think this is a good idea. Now, is it going to happen? I don't know. Again, his name is just being thrown around in the conversation, so it's not necessarily like a done deal or anything like that, or even something they're like specifically considering. It's just an idea. And like I said, personally, I think it is a good idea. Whether he gets the job or not, at least to have his name in the conversation, it makes complete and total sense. And I think, again, if he was in charge of this, it would not turn out too bad. I mean, you saw what he did with the Arrowverse. He created this world. He created this cinematic universe, even though it's on TV, of superheroes, had these crossovers. That's exactly what we want to see on the big screen, just, with different characters and bigger budget and all that stuff. Well, that's not Greg Berlanti's fault. So again, I think this would be a great idea. If it happens, great. If we get somebody else, we'll see if they're great as well. But I think he actually does have experience producing movies as well. I think he actually directed a movie or two on top of that. So he has experience with movies. So I think he's a great choice. I would love to see this happen, but we'll have to wait and see. So for now, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about this news that Greg Berlanti could possibly be our Kevin Feige of the DCEU? Is this something you want to see, or are you not a fan of his work and just think this is one of the worst ideas ever? So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But for now, guys, thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button so I can keep you up to date on everything that goes on in the DC life.